My sister and her were classmates. She knew of me, but I didn't really know of her.
He used to come into the grocery store that I worked at and cash his paycheck every Friday. I don't know, he just had this like beautiful smile. He had braces. There was just a presence about him that I was drawn to.
I asked her if she wanted to go out, and so everything kind of fell in place at that particular moment.
When we started dating, we were inseparable. Every step of the way, we just were together. We went through everything together.
I guess in the heart of hearts, you always try to find that one.
And I truly believe that we were destined to be together for whatever reason. We both had careers that we were working hard at. It was just all falling into place where it was supposed to. But in February of 2003, Ben started to feel like he was tired and lethargic.
Couldn't catch my breath, walking a flight of stairs. I thought I was just out of shape.
And after about a year, going through a number of doctors to figure out how to give Ben more energy, the doctors came in the room and informed us that he needed a double lung transplant.
Finally got to the point I was just coughing up blood and really losing my sense of being, because I couldn't even walk across the street.
He went from this very fit man to this shell of a man. There was nothing really left of him. You know, it's scary. I was young. We had only been married for 6 years.
You start thinking of tying up loose ends. Do you think this could be it?
We made vows. We hold them, like we honor them. You know, he believed that he was supposed to be taking care of me, but I was the one who was taking care of our home, holding him up in the shower, making sure that he had oxygen.
I was close to death at that point. You get to a certain point and there's nothing else to do besides pray.
And on the 4th day, he said, "This is it.
I'm not gonna make it through the night. This is the last day I'll be here." And I was calling my doctor the same time the doctor was calling me and said, "We found a set of lungs." We were calling each other at the same time. So I remember getting on the plane. I remember landing on the plane. Basically, by the time I got to Cleveland, I was taking my last breaths. And I said, I can't fight.
His doctor came to me and said, "We need to talk." And I said, "We don't need to talk. If you don't do the transplant, my husband's gonna die. If you do the transplant, he could still die. But if you do the transplant, he could possibly live. And we're believing that he's going to live." With tears in her eyes, she said that the lead thoracic surgeon is going to do the transplant because of the faith and the love that we have for each other. When they finally took him off of life support, they had me in the room and he was able to say, "It's a beautiful day, God is good, and I love my wife with all my heart."
I did not want to widow my wife at 30 years old. That drove me past the barrier, because I did not want to leave her alone.
I think my biggest goal in life was to be a mom. And so after Ben was healthy enough and after he was feeling ready, that's when we decided to become foster and adoptive parents.
He had a liver transplant and needed a home. And my wife and I discussed it 30 seconds and said there's no better place that he could go But our house,
How rare is it to meet somebody who has had an organ transplant or a family who's been affected by organ transplants? But for us to have 2 in our home, it's crazy to think about. He and Ben have this bond that they're both living not only for themselves, but for, you know, a donor and their families. He has been given this beautiful gift of a second life.
it's a blessing every day, because if it wasn't for her decision, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I wouldn't be experiencing what I've experienced in the last 19 plus years. I want to be able to teach my children what I've learned through life. Life's not always roses. It's not always, it's a bumpy, rough road, and there's twists and turns in life. Never give up on true love.